I think there's a number of elements in that make the movie what it is, and have to do with authenticity, and the children being as good as they are is a huge element. Time and place is a huge element.
Howdy.
We gotta surprise her like Dad said.
You know I ain't your real dad, right? Me living with you, tying your shoes, playing I Spy games, none of that makes me your dad.
What then?
What?
What makes you my dad?
We were gonna move to LA after I finished high school. We were gonna watch the sun go down on Sunset Boulevard.
Not go to sleep
Until
it came up in the morning.
Pablo, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Look at you. You're all ready with the shirt and everything.
What?
You got the billboard.
You're the last one.
Oh,
you know what an honor that is?
That's awesome. Either it's or just a pain in the ass that you have like one more to go today,
No. It's like light at the end of the tunnel. Like you're a blessing.
I'll take that. We'll see if you have the same thing to say in about 10 to 15 minutes, but we'll go with it for start.
I'm gonna blow it, Jim. Now I can see the nervousness now. Now I'm getting worried.
What a pleasure to talk to you. I'm telling you, I've been dying for years to get an interview with you. So finally, after yeah, I've been such a big fan. Dude, I'm telling you, for me, Den of Thieves is one of my all-time like top 5 movies. So
nice.
This is awesome.
A little bit of a different movie, Lorelei is.
Definitely. And I liked you in it too, because it's like completely the opposite character, But really cool. I just finished watching the movie like half an hour ago. I'm still like processing it. So I'm probably going to be asking questions as I'm like still trying to figure out what I saw.
You're the second person today that just finished a half an hour before. That's an interesting dynamic to do.
I like that because it sits with you, It sits with you and it makes you still kind of think what just happened, and I have you now to like run my thoughts through. So that's a great thing there.
Well, I hope I can coherently answer some of the questions.
I'm sure you can. Where are you at?
I'm in LA.
Okay.
Very
nice. Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not, are you writing for a Canadian outlet?
No.
Oh, okay. We just did 3 Canada interviews in a row. You got tacked onto the end of the Canada block.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess
in the States now.
For someone that's been to Canada once, I'll take that as like a sign of respect or whatnot.
As you should.
Yeah, Pablo just wrapped Canada for the day. The rest is America.
We're back on American soil.
Yeah, you guys are apparently popular in Canada too. That's good. Extending it internationally, right? Everyone's got to see this.
We'll need as many eyeballs as we can get. We'll take the Canadian ones, that's for sure.
Totally, very, very relatable too. I guess, people can relate to this movie in a lot of different settings and locations from, at least what I gather.
We had a UK interview too. And now I'm just wondering, does that mean, will that be a UK publication or is it just doing press for the US?
That was an American outlet, but with the
okay, gotcha. With a UK interviewer, got it.
See, they're throwing you off the loop when it's virtual. You just don't know where it's coming from.
No idea. Hear an accent, you get nervous.
Well, they're getting to the right people. That's the good thing about it. So, You working on anything currently or at the moment?
No, I'm just waiting to do something else. I just got home. I just finished shooting the first season of Halo about a month ago.
That's right. It's coming out 2022, so we're still about a year away from it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's going to be a long process to edit and do all the visual effects. It's a massive visual effects show.
Wow, that's so cool. That's finally coming out. I yesterday went on Apple TV and I'm like, I guess my subscription ran out because I had like the year free for buying like a laptop. I'm like, whoa, I can't log in. I'm like, well, I better get this going again because there's some good stuff coming, including Halo. So
yeah, Paramount Plus. We're going to be on Paramount Plus.
Oh, you guys are going to be on Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got that already. So we're set.
There you go.
Got my soccer viewing and now Halo coming up.
There you go. You watch soccer on Paramount?
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Because they do what?
The Champions League.
Champions League. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Jenna, how's it going?
Good. Sorry, I scrolled too far down and I thought the next one was at 2:45. I'm like, wow, that's a long break. So I'm so sorry.
They just forgot about me. It's all good. Not that important, but glad to have you here. I like your background, by the way. What kind of is that a painting or like?
It's a hanging tapestry. You're
Oh,
seeing the
wow.
back wall of my music studio. So
That is pretty awesome. You didn't do that, right? Or did you?
no, I forget the artist who did it. It's really cool. I don't know. I'm getting into
Like if you did, it was like a new line of work for you in that case. You know?
Imagine, yeah, that would be definitely a side hustle.
I'm so happy to talk to you and Pablo. I just saw the movie. I was telling Pablo like half an hour ago, so I'm still like going through the motions in my head of what just happened, you know? So cool because I've been such a big fan of both of you throughout the years, seeing you in different films and roles. And this one, I could imagine when you're getting the script and reading it, it kind of makes you feel something. It would have to, right? To get this story, because I thought the kids were just absolutely phenomenal. They're like the foundation of this film in a lot of ways too. But what were the immediate reactions both of you kind of had in your minds when you read the script initially? I'm curious. I'm gonna start with you, Pablo.
Sure. Yeah, the script resonated immediately. I really loved it for all of the elements that you end up seeing on screen, the poetry, the lyricism. And one of my first thoughts was the challenges of casting. You know, if I'm going to do it, okay, great. Then who else are we going to get? And obviously the role of Dolores, I thought it would be very tough to cast because I didn't think it was a very likable or relatable role. And when Jena was cast, I thought fantastic. She has the ability to make it relatable. And she succeeded beyond all of my wildest dreams in making it that way. And the other challenge of the casting was the kids. Yeah. And you know, and the thing that made me feel sort of secure in that was that our producers had worked on the Florida project, and they had already done a movie where child casting was a huge part of the process, and finding first-time child actors was something they had already done. And so
these three were first-time actors?
Yeah, I mean, Chancellor,
wow.
One had done some commercial stuff, but other than that, it was first time for all of them. So those were the things that went through my head initially after.
Phenomenal. What about you, Jena?
I mean, I think you're really onto something by saying that the children are the foundation of this film, you know, and it's sort of like this wild wait and a wild gamble to, you know, have three first-time actors. But I mean, if you look at the history of film, I mean, first-time performances for most actors are pretty spectacular. You know, there's something very magic that can happen. And children are gifts. So they're just like these little truth beacons. And so it was just our job to kind of show up and demonstrate good leadership and how to be on a set, but also protect the space for them, you know? And so a lot of it was not learning what I needed, but learning, well, what do they need to make this scene the best that it can be? And sort of all of us kind of changing shapes and forms to see, you know, how we could make them feel safe so that they could shine. And I really think they did. I'm so proud of them.
Oh my gosh, totally. I think that maybe the authenticity of having first-time actors, you're kind of pure in that way. They're not, you know, kind of touched by Hollywood yet. And that maybe brings up the truth, because I thought they were just so authentic and felt like real kids. And that's really cool to see on camera when you can kind of feel like a real child, you know, and that makes now complete sense that they're a first-time actor, because I felt like they brought themselves literally to this role. And wow, that's so cool to know. That I'm really, you know, and also I was thinking that too, watching a movie, if anyone was removed or changed for a different actor, whether it was you or Jena or you, Pablo, or one of the kids, this could be a totally different movie too. Like, I just wondered that for a second, like, wow, I wonder if, like, through casting, you make a movie in a lot of ways, and just changing someone out of the equation could have made it a whole different movie.
Yeah, it really does have an effect. And you also mentioned authenticity. I think there's a number of elements in that make the movie what it is, and have to do with authenticity. And you know, the children being as good as they are is a huge element. Time and place is a huge element, and we had the luxury of shooting in the Pacific Northwest, in and around Portland, Oregon. And I think the time and place that the movie takes place feels so lived in and authentic because of the places we were shooting, the sets that the production designer gave to us. They found this abandoned house and created Dolores' home out of that, and created it in such a beautiful way. So, and then the local actors that worked on the other parts that were all, you know, cast out of Portland, and so many elements end up feeling authentic and feeling like a real time and place, because we really were just there shooting those things.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, wanted to ask you guys another thing that kind of stood out when you see kind of, I wonder what happens with these characters after a scene, because it kind of leaves you with so many possibilities. Did you guys kind of imagine in your minds, or maybe ask Sabrina what she envisioned for them going forward? I'm kind of curious. I would like to think that, you know, something impactful happened and they made it work. What did you guys kind of individually have any thoughts about where these characters go afterwards, after that final kind of scene?
I mean, of course we have thoughts, you know, it's part of how you craft a character, is that you'd almost, you know, it's nice to sort of think about where they're going. But I mean, more importantly, it's sweet to hear what you have to say, you know, because as the audience receiving this story, it's so cool to think, you know, did you think that they were getting together? Is there turmoil? You know, what is their life going to be? But yeah, it's cool to think that you know, felt like they were going to figure it out and, you know, get through this one. And I tend to agree. I think that there was, if they could have had a fairy tale, you know, ending or crashing into each other, that a move down to LA and, you know, having a different trajectory could be really good for them, you know?
So cool. And final question I wanted to ask, you guys got to work together and spend, I'm guessing, a lot of time on and off set during this production. Wanted to ask you individually, Pablo, I'll start with you. What's your favorite thing about Jena that you learned through this experience and that you found out about her? What's something that stood out as a person?
Well, Jena has a real dedication to the moment. You know, the thing I think about the most with Jena is I think about presence, you know, and availability. And as an artist, you know, you said that we probably spent a lot of time on and off set, and the truth is we didn't. We spent a lot of time on set. We didn't spend a ton of time off set, and that was perfect the way that it was. We really got to meet each other and enjoy each other as our characters and in the moment. And one of the greatest gifts that Jena gave to me as a performer was just her constant availability, you know, and ability to kind of go anywhere. So that's what sticks out for me.
What about you, Jena? What about Pablo did you learn throughout this experience and stood out to you?
I think something I learned and that I just really respect and admire is his deep sense of adventure. You know, like he's been doing this for so long that I think the way that he protects sewing adventure into his life, amongst how he's hopping from, you know, one project to the next, is sort of the downtime he spends as an actor, father, man, is really inspiring, you know? Like, I mean, he was not staying in a hotel or a rented house. He bought this really amazing travel trailer, and like him and his 6-year-old son like traveled across the country and like camped in it while he was shooting, like right next to the hair and makeup trailer. I mean, I don't know. There's just like a level of dedication, but also just like a willingness to be in a moment, no matter what it presents, which is probably a similar thing that you were saying about me, that maybe that those adventurous sides kind of saw each other right away. It was like, oh, this is cool. Like, we can do this.
You guys made it work. I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was just, it's good to have something where you can take a lot of different things from life and about redemption and struggle, and, you know, nothing's perfect. Life is like a roller coaster. And I felt like your characters and this film kind of portray that, but there's always hope, you know, at the end of the tunnel. So I really enjoy that. And you guys did a tremendous job. So really cool to see that from you. Pablo, you're not shooting up stuff, you know, in downtown LA like you did in Den of Thieves, but man, you brought it completely too. And Jena, just phenomenal job. So really, really cool film. I hope people check it out.
Thank you so much, Jane. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Hope to connect with you guys again. Hopefully this isn't my only first time talking to you. I've been a big time fan, and definitely awaiting for the next projects.
Oh, you're so sweet. I look forward to it.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.